Greetings, everyone. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the first official idea creation segment. Greetings, everyone. Once again, my name is Chimoge. You can also call me Moge. Welcome to Chimoge's Comments. Thank you to those of me who joined me earlier on Moge for my first ever morning explosion. I was talking about a Premier League game, the one this past weekend that occurred between Manchester United and Bournemouth. Check that out when you will, but also join me now as I create central ideas. These two important topics. You can see. What? Sorry, some notification on my screen. Okay, we're okay. Forgive me, there was a notification on my screen that distracted me. God, really sounding British these days. Anyway, I guess we'll bring that out of you. God, I'm going to give a morning show. I'm going to you like you love. Cut. I'm gonna why? I'm going to you a morning boy. How I kind of miss you. How I kind of miss you. What does that mean? The greatest man alive rules the people. Anyway, let's go. Having the normal high. Smack forever my Patrick lineage. Anthony Boulay. Think of the let's go. Once again, like, subscribe, share. Let's go. So, I'm going to be creating the central ideas for my topic discussions about Dr. Umar Johnson and the sport of soccer. Dr. Umar Johnson, it's not a subject that I like, but it's a subject I feel compelled to talk about a lot. And soccer is a subject I like, although there are things going wrong with it, unfortunately. Anyway. I'm on it, boy. Got the notification again. Anyway, we're still on. God. Anyway, registered view already. Thank you very much. All right, starting with my Dr. Umar Johnson. I don't anticipate this taking that long, but we shall see. Let me get the other pieces of paper, actually. Forgive me. I'm on it, boy. What? I'm like a morning shot. I'm like a I'm counting costs. I just got some background paper for you. Two sheets. All right, let's go again. Generating the central ideas for my discussion of Dr. Umar Johnson. I've already talked about him and really issues related to him multiple times here on Shimo's Comments. But yeah, more will come. So this is just to give it more direction. Anyway, not that it was directionless, but I feel compelled to say that. Anyway, let's go. All right. So first thing I think of is his recent financial meltdown. Let me call it that. And I've talked about this a bit. I also made a video about this on Moge, an upcoming project. Really, because I thought of that project before this. It'll just be a separate but close one, but they'll all dovetail. So, he had recent financial struggles. Again, you can check out my content about that. I've also released an article about it on Patreon. You can check that out. And again, that's not all his fault because there were a lot of crazy trends going on. But then I would just say the degree of it is his fault. I would say that. especially because it impacted his. I guess this leads to the second topic. I'm just gonna call them businesses, even though he's talking about them like they're nonprofits. Things like FPNP. So when you have major organizations like that, you have to at least have, if you expand to that level, because there's different levels of organization. If you expand to that level, you have to have basic financial security, which you do, because you can't be talking about I have a school, it hasn't opened, it hasn't operated, then you're talking about it can get closed down due to financial society. So anyway, so it's a recent financial meltdown. Second relevant thing about Dr. Umar is I think the organizations he has, I'll just call it his organizations, because I've learned that at this stage I have to make the idea vague. Let's leave it at this. His organizations. What? Yes. Big no. Abu meu ofuma. Shangu Amario. Probably not it. That which we call it's a place in the universe. Should be as much in this world. Amario Kishi. Let's go. What I got so far. First, Dr. Umar's recent financial meltdown, and second, his organizations. Things like FPMG and other ones. Third, his publicly announced. Interesting. I'm just gonna go into the documentary. Ironically, I contacted him again. I've never met Dr. Umar, but he made his phone number public. So I just messaged him. I contacted him about being in this documentary back in 2022. He didn't respond. Again, that doesn't necessarily that itself is not necessarily bad on his part, just because I'm sure he gets flooded with messages. I'm just noting that because I wanted to tell my story, but it's a proposed documentary he had about, in his words, the experiences of Black boys. I don't know if he said boys or males. Anyway, these are his words in the school system. Let's see, Quincy. Why don't I just talk about all the children? Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Anyway, let me look into the documentary. That's something to think about. And then its related subjects. So I'll call it Dr. Umar's proposed quote unquote shockumentary and related subjects. Just because that's a big project. I mean, if he's released it, I haven't seen it. That's very serious business. I'll just leave it at that. Alright. Let me go forward with this. And the fourth thing, I'll just be very blunt. Dr. Malcolm's rise to fame. Yes, that's what I think about. Yeah, so I guess we'll get into history. I watched it in real time. I mean, like not in person, but online. Well, did I watch it? Actually, I can't say that. I only found out who he was when I was 17, 2015. Anyway, because he's been famous since 2010. Anyway, Dr. Umar Johnson's rise to, let me just say, fame. Abu Mamadio Hamone Boa. What? Abu Mamadio Abum Kala Kanin Kosa. Cosa, cosa, can cosa, or carinosa. He's faster than everyone else. That's what that means. And if you want to use a more elegant translation, he is most prominent in matters of pace. Anyway, well, English is crazy. All right, born and raised in the United States. Speaking Buchanan. Anyway, those are the ideas of Dr. UMAR Johnson. We'll see those in some form in the near future. At least in the future. Maybe not like that kind of timetable. Although, well, let me say in the future. Gala Canada. Obia Canada. Obia Canada. I'm the heart of overcoming stuff. Why? I'm gonna deal with that. Got to remember from yourself today. Bonus piece of information. Drink liquids with electrolytes. Drink liquids with electrolytes. Good for your health. I'm gonna deal with that. I'm gonna put that after this. All right, next is sport of soccer. All right, first, what is it? What is it? What is it? What is it? Ha ha. What is it? What is it? Ooh, what is it? Ooh, what is it? What is soccer? Very basic question. What are we talking about? What are the parameters? What type of parameters? Parameter. Is it for me to eat? More food for the children. Soccer. Abumawadiyo amone cha. Abumawadiyo ambuboa. Ka. All right. Okay. But really, like, just a basic question, what is soccer? So I'll probably make time to answer a question. Next. And then I'll just say second, men's professional soccer, just because, I think this is modern day men's professional soccer, just because that's the most prominent wing of it. Modern day men's professional soccer. Akuba, the hand of God. The hand of God wants to say something. Fun fact. Most people in the world refer to soccer as football. Most people in the world currently refer to soccer as football. The hand of God. Fun fact, same thing. Stuff in real time. Anyway. Yeah, that's the second quadrant. And then the third one, let me think of how best to articulate it. I don't want to just say women's professional soccer just because of the modern day climate and history. Understanding that subject, you can't just look at people who are classified as professional. I think it's just harder to contextualize all of that. I'll just call it, and this is crude, women in playing soccer in the modern day. I'll just say that. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I said 5, I wrote 6. I would know better. Ooh, that's good. I said 5, I wrote 6. I would know better. Anyway, there we go. We're playing soccer in the modern day. Abu Madi on the chat. Permission from above to continue. Permission from above to continue. Abu Madi on skis, skates, yes, I want to Abu Shangil, Abu Shangil, Abu Shangil, all right, what's the fourth quadrant? Then we can get out of here. The sport of soccer. What is it? Modern day men's professional soccer, women in playing soccer in the modern day, and I have to say there will be obvious crossover here. I actually don't want to go into history just yet, just so that's a complicated subject. And it's not the most important thing for people to look at, because my goal is to get people to act based upon this. I know, I'll just leave it at that. That's a complicated subject. I'm going to you a call. Because what is it encapsulates a lot? I think even the history would actually turn out there. So let me revise what I said before. I will go into history. It will just be a subset of things. That's an error. Chuku, energy, soccer, big monster, same thing. I know people banter online. I mean, soccer should be called soccer. Many people call it football. I don't really blame them because it's English. Outside of English, football. Madiola, interesting. Sport of soccer is a form of Madiola. Kick the ball, you know what you're doing. Hey. The big monster of life. The life of the big monster, the life of energy. Soccer. Woo. Woo. Yes. Sit at the apex of civilization and I talk of energy. The world is broken. At the same time, if the world was fixed, you would see me on that pitch. I'm gonna let you have all I'm gonna let you have all the apex civilization. I'm using kind of sky. All right, seriously, let me figure out why I'm drawn to this stuff for myself. Okay, the fourth one, this is recommended from the ancestors. What makes someone good at soccer? Let's just say that. I don't necessarily like that one, but anyway. We're different people. What? Again, that is a minefield. Everyone thinks that just because you hit the ball last before it went in, you're the best. Not necessarily at all. At the same time, very good attacking players should score a lot. So anyway. Because I don't think. Let me go. I mean, this is from above. I guess if they're not scoring a lot, they're not an attacking player. I think you should just define them some other way. That doesn't mean they're bad. Anyway, what makes someone good at soccer? Yes. Ama. Nilibuama. Nilibuama. Nilibuama, Nilibuama, Abumama, Nilibuama, Abumama, Abumama, Karia. Better than a question. Good. Ama. Seems my remittance here is ending. Abumama. Good. Oparama. Good, good. Goody, goody. Goody, goody. Goody, goody. Abumama. Goody, goody. Goody, goody. Goody, goody. Gooty. Gooty. Ama. That's interesting. A former soccer player who goes by the name Guti. I think he's retired. But anyway, at least according to common terminology. Anyway, should anyone ever really retire? Is the world broken? Are we perishing too young? I would say so. Anyway, call. Alright, there we go. There's the big idea. What makes someone good at soccer? I'll leave you all that. Thank you very much. This has been an idea creation segment, the first official one. I'll see you next time. My name is Chimoge and K-Ron. My humble Mogan. How can you find me outside of this? Google Chimoge and K-Ron, my metaphysically correct name. My government name is Chimoge Chijoke Ibe. And my alternate white structure name is Chimoge Chijoke Ibe Ngoku. Bonus one, being name I use for music and quoting. NKWOORIE. I'm a deal.